All right, guys, so we're jumping right into this video with a project I've been meaning to do for a while. These are the templates. So we're jumping right into this video with a project that was a little nerve-wracking. These are these inner metal skeletons that I have affixed to the inside of the bumpers so I can make really precise holes in the bumper. I'd always wondered how, these companies make these beautiful holes, and I was like, well, how can I solve that? So I designed something in Fusion 360, I sent it to Send, Cut, Send, and then I basically drilled them into the bumper so I could cut perfect holes out of the front and rear. So that's what you see me here doing to the front. We're going to follow up with the rear in a couple of minutes, but that is this process happening right now. All right, so I am really pleased with how this thing came out. It is really straight. I've got a grill coming today, and I've got to decide kind of how I want to mount the thing. So I'm actually not going to weld the tabs on yet or permanently install this for now, but obviously it needs to be body worked before it goes to paint. But I'm really happy. Now is the hard part, which is the rear. I've got a test dummy that I made the first one on, and I made a little modification. Like, just judging it, I wanted to see this line a little bit lower because you can actually see a bit of the rear cross member, and I didn't like that. So this is going to hide the cross member. So I've redesigned it, and it looks like this. It's going to be a little shorter, somewhere like that. And I don't know, I've got like probably a test case. I can probably unscrew this one and stick this in and just see what it looks like. Actually, maybe I'll do that. That's probably not a bad idea. So I'm going to unscrew this entire thing. I got two of these. I'll drill a few holes in this one and mount this and just see how it looks before I actually go to the actual bumper and do it. I mounted this thing too low. It needs to be right there. And I messed up. This is why I got two. All right, these things look exactly like they're supposed to. I got them pretty dialed. They're pretty darn even. And I think it's good enough to be able to use the part that's inside here now on the real bumper. Bum, bum, bum. All right, dudes, I got this thing really nice and centered. I am very pleased with it. Now it is time to cut this thing out and send it. Not gonna lie, that was a bit nerve-wracking. One chance at it, but they are perfectly symmetrical, they're straight, and they are going to look awesome. So I am very psyched about how those came out. I did also get my grill material in the mail from the old Amazon. They're like octagonal. They're a little bit bigger than I want, so I may actually go back and order another one that doesn't have as big of the hexagons. I said octagons. I don't know which one. One of them. Anyway, these can go off to Costa Mesa Collision after I have done a little bit of fiberglass filler in the holes, and that is that. Next item up for bid is my transmission mount. You saw me make this in the last episode from Send Cut Send, these bad boys. And here's something you guys probably didn't see me make, which is this cross member. These span the distance. You'll see shortly what I'm talking about. And this fits perfectly into here. So this is going to be how the transmission is mounted in the front. If for some reason it's not strong enough, and I'm looking at this thing going, man, I wish these were a little bit thicker. I kind of wish I had ordered thicker versions. I'll just get literally another set of them, and I will weld them in sequence, and they'll be fine. So I'm not super worried about it right now. Again, this is going to be a roller for SEMA, so I'm not like going crazy with it. But I want to get this thing welded on, so it is another checkbox on the list. All right, there's the bar, like kind of crappily welded on to my cradle. And before you guys are like, oh, it looks like crap. I know it doesn't matter because this whole thing is a prototype. I'm going to scan the entire thing and then bring it into Fusion 360 and design some like really cool pieces for this cradle. So I'm not super worried about it right now. It just needs to go on. One thing of note though is I think I measured the distance between this hole and the bottom here. I think I messed them up. I think I actually doubled it. So I've had to actually move the top hole of the transmission and use the bottom hole of my my little mount there. So I'm actually gonna have to drill another hole here and probably lower the nose of the transmission a little bit. No big, but I did kind of mess it up somehow. Anyway, I'm gonna cut my little temporary cross member off here and move on to the next project of the day. Get this awesome black anodized billet shift knob from Rennch, and it's supposed to mount on this shifter, but my shifter's a little big, so I'm just taking a grinder to it until the thing fits. Okay guys, it's Wednesday, and I was trying to think of what the date is. It's October 26th, which is actually my birthday. So it's Wednesday, October 26th, and I'm gonna give you a quick walk around and show you where we are at the moment. As predicted, there are about 19 projects going on at the same time. This is my old RS carpet kit, and I laid it out because I'm not exactly sure what pieces I can use on the inside of the car at the moment to finish it off. But I've got a few updates. Number one, I still have to modify this Rennch dash face by cutting off the bottom piece here so it can sort of fit in this spot between the roll bar and the dash. So that's what's going on there. I was just over at Sparco and talked to their upholsterer, Caesar, just after I picked these fabrics up. Now this fabric is called Prophecy. I'll show you what it looks like. It's really cool. It kind of looks like a carbon fiber kind of thing, kind of an octagonal deal. And I'll show you why that matters momentarily. And then I picked this stuff up, which is a vinyl, but it's got like kind of an acid green thing. Caesar is also doing one of the cushions. I think this bottom cushion is going to be that acid green color just for a little pop inside the car. I got some side mounts for my Sparco seats, so I should be able to get those in pretty much right away. I've got the turbos kind of loosely assembled the way they need to be. Got a couple of air filters, some oil and fuel lines. I still don't know how this is going to work because I don't have anybody to help me with the fabrication. So I, for 2 hours last night, sat and worked on my TIG welding, and it's still not great. I will tell you guys right now that it is still bonkers crappy. But I laid a couple of decent beads, but I'm pretty sure that if I put this thing together myself, it's gonna end up on one of those videos of the crappiest welds at SEMA, and I'm okay with that. Going to try to finish this tank off today while I'm here. The next thing I'm doing right now, though, is I'm gonna be working on these bumpers. Alexa, garage left on. Garage left on, thank you. I've got these bumpers that are ready to go. I've got this internal framework that I've done. So I'm going to actually glue them with some epoxy so I can pull the screws out and get those things sorted out on the front and on the rear. If you noticed the shape of the carpet, it's actually the same shape as the grill that I'm going to use for the front of these bad boys. So that's what's going on there. Let's see what else. Oh, I've got my transmission mount in. I still have to weld this thing up, but I think I will try my hand at TIG welding it at some point when I have a moment. Right now, I'm basically focusing all my energies on, like, what do I need to do to make the car look complete? Oh, the deck lid is being shipped down from Oregon directly to Costa Mesa Collision. My buddy, builder creator, who's building that unbelievable supercar by himself on YouTube, did the carbon work. So it's got a carbon tail, like a carbon active arrow tail, and then a carbon scoop that we're gonna work on, but it looks super cool. Bumpers will be done. The wheels, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with these wheels. I tried my hardest to get some cool wheels. I'm gonna see if my buddy's okay with me just like plastic dipping these and getting them into a different color, maybe black or something. But yeah, I think that's gonna be what the thing looks like going to SEMA. So for now, that is the update. I'll keep you guys posted. All right, I've used some plastic bond adhesive to bond this thing to the inside of the bumper so I can pull the screws out and fill them on the other side. All right, the next kind of crazy unknown project is that I have to cut down the Rennch dashboard because of the front roll bar. So I'm gonna try something here. This is gonna be two phases. One is I'm going to cut this bottom lip off here. And what I'm going to do for a guide is I've got this piece of bed frame. And I'm literally going to just butt it right up against here. And I'm going to use this as a cutting guide somehow. I guess probably that way. And I'll clamp this, and then I can just take a straight edge and sand on here, and I'll get a nice straight edge. I don't have any other way to cut this thing. Like, I guess you'd need a shear that's that big, but I definitely do not have that. Somebody asked me the other day why people take the guards off of these angle grinders, and you're not wrong. This is definitely a more dangerous way to do it. Unfortunately, I can't get into this spot with a regular grinder with the guard on. It's just too tight. So the precautions I'm taking are anti-cut gloves. These are cut resistant. I've got a face shield instead of sort of a standard set of goggles. And then I'm going to look here and see how this thing goes before I cut and make sure that I can go down smoothly. And then I'll move this thing. I will move this thing once I get to the ends. All right, phase one, and you can see how cool this is going to look once it's in. Here's the deal. This is where this real challenge comes from, is that there's obviously this big gap that's not supposed to be here. This face is supposed to be flush there. So technically, I probably have to cut this whole face off. The problem is this thing's got to kind of tuck in. And I think once I do that, it's going to snag on the top of this pipe. So I don't really know how, if I can like sort of tuck it in and push it back. But I do think I'm going to have to go all the way down and get to trimming. Honestly though, I wish I could actually leave it like this. I love how it's angled up. I think it looks really cool. I don't know how to make that work yet. It could technically, but yeah, I don't know how to make that work. So I really like how it hides the roll bar in the front as well. But what I actually need to do is use this as a template and bend a custom piece that will tuck in here and then roll over the bar. But that is for a future project. All right, there we are, trimmed up. And man, did that clean up the interior. That just looks rad. Nice black dashboard here, and we are going to be styling and profiling.
Takes me away where I'm going. And when I feel I can't go on, you come and hold me. Oh, won't you smile for me, Sarah?
So I've got my rear view mirror that has a front-facing camera and a rear-facing camera. And of course I was going to mount it directly and not just clip it on. I just needed this part of the mirror. So I've got this that will hang, and this has a full 4K screen on it. And it has a front-facing camera right here. The rear camera, which they have you put like under the trunk area and sort of sit up like this, not going to do because it's me. So my test mule here, I put the lens right here on this right side. Remember, the car's going to be green, so this is going to kind of disappear. And it's a little sneaky piece of tech that, to be honest, if people notice it, I'm okay with it. So now it's time to drill the actual bumper for where it's going to be and get a general idea here. Which is, I mean, this is totally untested, and if it doesn't work, then I guess I'll put a plug there or something, but here, so it doesn't fray the edges too much, because that is not that great. I have one more to do. What I'd love to do is be able to chamfer the edges. I just don't have the right tool for it. A lot of work in this bumper. Guys, this is the Vevor 870. It is a printer plotter, which means that I can cut these die-cut decals. What I'm going to do right now is cut the decals for my brakes. The hope is that I can cut some decals. I haven't used this thing too much, so I'm a total rookie at it, but it was relatively easy to set up. I have a Mac. So if you guys have a Mac and you get this machine, which isn't very expensive, you can get it on Amazon. It's the Vevor 870. Use an app called Easy Cut Studio, not the app that comes with it, and then you will have no problems, I think. Anyway, I've got a few stickers here that I'm going to try to cut, and They're going to have the Blasphemy moniker as well as my Rennch logo, which will then go on the calipers after they've been painted. And then they will hopefully clear coat over them, and I'll have a beautiful set of branded Blasphemy calipers from Carbon 12 Racing in England, which, by the way, supplies the entire brake kit for Tuttle Porsche, which is super cool. Anyway, got these cool brakes, got this app, hoping this is going to work. Let's give it a go. I've got this whole setup in my bedroom because I have no other space in the house I can put this thing. So these are the Blasphemy logos. I'm not going to show you too much because I'd rather show you on the brakes. And let's see, cutter, 870, boop, connection, USB, boop, cut mode, origin point, boop. All looks good so far. Let's do WYSIWYG. Oops, did not select. So let's select these first. There we go. Now cutter, boom, now it looks like it's supposed to. Okay, cutter's there. Origin point, that's going to cut it off. So let's do WYSIWYG. And let's do auto. And let's hit cut and see what happens. It's making cutting noises. So it's almost perfect, but it's cutting off my logo. All right, so that was successful and unsuccessful at the same time. Okay, that looked like it worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I was actually really worried about the Japanese characters and how they would peel off, but they're peeling pretty good. Okay, here they are. Rennch logo, Porsche in Japanese. So now I'm going to put the tape over, which will then pull the decals off, and then you can apply them to whatever you want, in theory. So these are what I'll take over to Costa Mesa Collision. They just have to cut them out, and then once they paint the calipers, they will stick these on after they've painted and then clear coat over all of it. It's always amazing to watch a master craftsman at work. Caesar, the genius upholsterer from Sparco, came over, who knows what time, 7 p.m., to use the underlayment that I had purchased to make into templates for the very fancy Prophecy fabric, which is actually not meant to be a carpet, it's meant to be a body fabric. But he used this underlayment to make a template around all of the roll cages, and it came out fantastic. He would then glue the body fabric on top and wait till you see the results. What do you think, Cesar?
That would be perfect. That would be good.
All right, still on Thursday. It's, what time is it right now? It is about 9 o'clock. And the headlights just got delivered. Lee from 911 Headlights. You guys, I don't know what to say about this other than wait till you see these freaking things. First of all, hold on. Before you pull these out.
Yes.
Did my rendering have anything to do with the design of these headlights?
They did.
Because we talked like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like these quad, badass. Like, you ever been behind a Porsche recently or in front of a Porsche on the highway at night, and you see these quad lights showing up? I'm like, it's so cool. So, if you don't know this already, 911 Headlights makes literally the most beautiful headlights you can get for a vintage 911. How late model do you go?
Even back to 64, 65.
No, but like how current?
Up to the 964.
964. Okay. So air-cooled, all the air-cooled 911s that have like abysmal headlights, like my Gray Ghost, I can see about 9 feet in front of the car. So Lee got into the headlight world a few years ago and decided, because he's obsessed, that he was going to make these things like, just in case the Mona Lisa was on leave, you could just put this in the Louvre, and that's how great these headlights look. So let's reveal the Raven. Am I right with the
No,
Raven?
it's actually the Phoenix.
Phoenix, excuse me. Phoenix quad, black background, polished chrome rim for this car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
So here we go.
Good.
The
May
only
I?
thing is I accidentally put the wrong sticker in the back, but it's okay.
May I?
Yes.
Oh my God. All right, so I can't quite express to you the level of like singer obsession to these things.
Yeah, there's
I am
a lot of work.
speechless. I've actually never seen one. I know we have many mutual friends, but when is the first time I saw these? It was pre, like, who was it? It was the stupid car.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, I think Derek Whitaker was the first one I saw
he was
these
my
on.
first guy that took a chance on.
And I saw, what are those? At Luft, like 2018 maybe, 2019.
Yeah.
And I said,
2018.
what are those things?
Yeah.
Guys, I can't even. Like, wouldn't you just display this on your desk, for crying out loud? This is the, like, if you want the best possible light for your 911, that's what these are. Wow. There's a prism thing that you can't see. Can you see the, yeah, there's a, you can sort of see it. There's a little prism in there. I would be just as well putting this on my desk and never firing them up as I would on my car. I can't wait to see what these look like. Let's do that. Put on the hot light.
Oh, because that.
You thing. Oh no, that's wrong.
Okay.
It's, our order's on the way, everybody.
Yummy.
Yeah. I don't know what to say other than these are easily the most gorgeous lights I've ever seen. They are unbelievable, and they make this front end look like it's $1 million car. So Lee at 911 Headlights, you are an absolute. I mean, when they thought of the word stud, that's what they thought of. Good Lord. Wait till you see these things lit up. Ah! This has been like 3 years of work, and I'm just seeing the car's like, it's turning into a car. It's just been it's just been metal. And now it's turning into a car. And it's gonna be so amazing. And yeah, and it's really gonna be something. This is gonna be special. I can tell. It's gonna be special when it's done. It's Thursday, October 27th. Just having a moment, just seeing all this chaos and where this thing needs to go, but make creative design decisions with something that's so sacred to so many people, like vintage Porsches. And first put the Subaru engine in, and then just make all these crazy aesthetic decisions. But what's cool is that I'm in this last couple of days, of the build. Well, that's wrong. I'm in the last couple of days of like the 80% of the aesthetic of the build. The wheels aren't in yet. The wheels are going to be transformative. But to see the headlights are like, when I got those in, it was like, oh my God. I was so worried about the back end of this car being so heavy, It's got the air intake, and it's got, the carbon fiber this, and it's got the scoop, and it's got the Active Aero tail, the 911R, the 3D printed taillights, and it's like, man, that's a lot of stuff going on back there. The turbos, the peekaboo turbos, and then it's like, Lee comes over with these headlights, and I'm thinking, man, the front end's gonna be kind of boring, and the headlights are like, I got it. Don't worry. And I'm like, oh, they got it. Like, they are beautiful. And to have Caesar come in today and do the carpets, it's just cool, man. It's super cool. I think I'm gonna end this video now. Hopefully I got enough for this one video, for this, for this update. And then I'll bang out the rest and hopefully get to SEMA. There's still a chance I'm not gonna go. I don't quite know how I'm getting there yet. how the car's getting there, where I'm staying. There's a lot up in the air, but that's what you know. I'm one guy in a garage. I'm building a car, so it's all good, man. Keep solving problems and having fun.